Hello, BookTube. What's up? This is the Writers Are Weird tag, and I was tagged by Dane Cobain. Thank you for the tag, Dane. Cheers, my friends. I'm not sure, I'm not really sold on this one. I don't think writers are weird at all. Because Ty the librarian said so. Could I get a hell yeah? I've seen some things, man, and some stuff. I don't recommend it. Actually, I did spend 12 years in the military. You know, I had a nightmare about this. I've been preparing for the apocalypse for a long time. Yep, nothing disturbing about that. Just me hanging out in the junk room. Alright, I should probably do the tag. Number 1. Do you have bizarre internet searches? If so, what's the weirdest one? I think every writer probably has bizarre internet searches. Depending on what your subject matter is. One that I remember looking up recently was I had to check out, there was a story on Paul Harvey's old radio show. A lot of you might not be familiar with Paul Harvey. Anyway, to make a long story short, this guy in Australia, he's going home from his job. He gets beat up by 5 or 6 guys. They kick his face in. They just, make a mess out of him. And his family ushers him off. They're like, oh, it'll be a wonder if he lives. And so they happen to be friends with like the greatest plastic surgeon in the country, and he puts him back together, and lo and behold, this mystery man turns out to be Mel Gibson. Well, the story turned out to be false, to the best of my abilities as far as researching it on the internet. So I looked that one up, found out that wasn't true. And then I also looked up, do gnats dream of electric bug zappers? Again, turned out not to be true. That was a tip of the hat to Philip K. 2. Do you write people you know and dislike into your story as villains or dumb people to kill off? Yes, I have. And more than once. Writing is, what's the word I'm looking for? Cathartic. I think it's like a way of dealing with, what goes on in everyday life. Different people deal with stuff in different ways. I think writing is an outlet. It's also, if you're creative and whatnot. But yeah, you tend to, throw some people literally under the bus, not, Alright. 3. Does personal hygiene sometimes come second to writing? Not really. I don't have that much time to write anymore, sadly. So I'm a pretty hygienic dude. Maybe back in the 80s when I had a little downtime, I moved from Michigan to Kentucky, and I'd worked over 2 years with patients, and I took a little time off and did quite a bit of writing. So not a lot of personal hygiene suffering. 4. Do you go on baby name websites to help you name your characters? No, I do not. I have some old phone books, where I have at least one from like 1965, a couple counties away. I have found names on tombstones, and just, you know, if I see a name and it's cool, you know, like a couple names I've seen on tombstones is Boss and Ramus. Of course, Ramus has already been used because Tom Clancy used that in The Hunt for Red October. His main character, played by Sean Connery. But I had used that name before. I wrote a book called The Stronger back in the 90s. It's water under the bridge. But no, I don't go to baby name websites. 5. Do you have a list of actors and actresses that would play your characters if there was an adaptation made? No, not really. I always thought if The Stronger was ever made into a movie, I wanted to play the one redneck guy. That's as far as I'm going to go with explanation on that one. But yeah, I was like, I think I can do that character. 6. Have you ever stared at a stranger because they look like one of your characters? No, I have not. But original title for The Stronger was The Witch Dog, and I seen a dog in Knott County, and I stared at that thing because it just looked really evil. So I kind of took some pictures up here and superimposed them on my dog character I had in that book. 7. Do you talk to yourself to help work through scenes? Yeah, I probably do. I've found myself talking to myself silently when I'm answering comments, you know, to try to get it right. I mean, not all the time, but you know, a lot of the time you gotta picture, you know, the person saying it, and is that vocalization going to mesh with what's coming from the other characters or whatever. So yeah. And if so, where do I find myself doing it? This used to be my writing room, but I don't have time to write. But one day, hopefully, I'll get back to it. So it used to be in here. 8. While writing, do you make the expressions your characters are making? Gosh, let's hope not. I like Dane. He did the eyebrow raising thing, but you know, I've wrote some sex scenes, so hopefully not. Hopefully there were no expressions. Yikes. 9. Do you ever practice interview questions in case you make it big? Nope, never. Not worried about that. 10. Do you have a soundtrack and or playlist that's for your book or scenes from your book? That's possible, depending on what's popular at the time. You know, Stephen King actually listens to music while he writes, but you know, that's him. I probably couldn't do it. Although when the muse hits, pretty much write anything. So anyway, that's the end of the tag. I don't know who to tag. I don't know who's done this. If you're a writer, you want to do this, knock yourself out, please. I'd love to see it. So thanks everybody for sticking around, putting up with my shenanigans. Don't forget to give this video one finger up, like, subscribe, whatever gets you through the day. But thanks as always, my friends. Cheers again. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.